Hey everyone, come on in, sit back, relax, take a load off, grab yourself a drink. I'm going to take you onto a journey. It's an unexpected journey too, because I went into my collection room just to sort of like get away from it all, and lo and behold, what did I see? But poor old Stalker's O-ring's broken. So then I thought to myself, hey, I'm going to repair the O-ring, and I might as well do a 1983 Stalker's review. So without further ado, buddy, let's see what we can do. Okay, let's see what we have here. So obviously the O-ring's gone. So you flip all Stalkers. Well, don't need that part. Anyway, pull them aside and get a flip screwdriver. And carefully pull this figure apart because it is made out of a light and ever so brittle plastic. So get yourself a fresh O-ring, and what I always use, so I get my pliers kit here, and I always like to stretch out that O-ring so it doesn't create too much stress. Now normally I take this apart, but I'm not going to because it is actually, as I said, that crutch is actually quite brittle. So by moving this forward, I've got myself little tweezers here. So yeah, normally I pull these figures apart, but because, as I said, this is a really old figure, and it's made out of that really very rare light green plastic, which is so brittle, I do not want to pull the figure apart if I don't have to. And there you have it. Okay, so we get the assembly side. Right, now he's ready for the review. Right, this is Stalker, fully complete. And he only came with one accessory, so that's the 92 and 93 version. Both came with one, and it is his submachine gun, right here. And the submachine gun is a M32 pulverizer submachine gun. That's what it says on the contents. And they must really like this machine gun because they use this for Duke version 1 and version 2, which is version 2 of course is the Tiger Force version, and also on the accessory pack, and I believe somewhere else like the tactical ESC platform or tactical platform. So we'll just put his machine gun down there for the time being. And we'll take a look at the sculpt, design and colour of Stalker right here. So Stalker's body shares the same as Colonel Hawk and Grunt. So that means they've got the same body, as I said, the body, the pants, the legs and the arms as well. The only thing that's different is obviously, of course, the head itself. So we'll just put these guys aside, and once again concentrate on Stalker right here. So Stalker originally didn't came with his grenade and his knife that was unpainted. So obviously with me, I painted that for the just a bit more contrast and detail to the figure. So coming in now, he came in like this top here, and it had the black straps that go all the way down and through the back, and there's nice little pockets on his side of his arms that were really cool. And if you look closely, and I said it before, on his belt buckle, you can see that H, or not H, you can see the house. That is the logo of Hasbro back in the day in the 80s. So the belt goes across, and he's also got a nice little pocket on the back. And some nice pockets on the side, and black boots. So the articulation of Stalker here is that he can turn his head from left to right. He did not have a ball joint, so he could not look up and down. That was the typical style of the figures back then. I believe it moved on till 1983 and 4. Maybe I think 1984 they started experimenting with the ball head joint. So his arms, and I'm only going to move this arm because I know it can swivel, this part here at the elbow. So it can rotate a full 360. It can stretch out like so. It can also swivel at the bicep, and that does too. I'm not going to force it because, believe it or not, this plastic is really brittle. So the less I move around with it, the better. I know I can do this with this arm. He can bend at the elbow at 90 degrees. And as I said before, he can swivel his bicep 360, which is kind of cool. He's held together by a rubber O-ring, but you know that, of course, because I repaired it. And he does like a bit of an egg crunch, which is cool, but also does like a turn, so forth and so on. He can move his leg up about 90 degrees, and ever so gently bend his knee at 90 degrees. So it's like he's doing a kick there. So bring him down nice and gently. And he also has this camouflage detail, which is really great. So back in the day, for Hasbro to apply this colour on him, because paint was really expensive, that they cut costs. So by cutting costs, they made Snake Eyes here, an all black figure. Yes, this is the original Snake Eyes. I just painted the goggles and the knife and the explosive on the side. This once again a bit more detail, but that's not a review on Snake Eyes. That will come in much later. So his beret is green, and that's a beautiful dark green colour. His black hair and a black moustache, which is pretty stunning. As I said, that camouflage looks really quite cool. Unfortunately, I've noticed that his hands aren't the same colour as his skin tone of his face. I could try and colour match that if I can, and maybe I will at a later date. So going back down, he's also got these black boots, which is really cool, and it's set out for like jungle scenes. Now I don't have the file card, but I'll show you a picture of it, and please read at your own time and pleasure. But I will say this, you can see here is Stalker. His code name is Stalker, of course. He is the ranger, and his primary specialty is infantry, and his secondary specialty is medic and interpreter. So obviously with being in the jungle and all that, he needs to learn, and also he was basically like a primary leader, so he had to sort of learn multiple languages and all that. So that is very, very important. He probably definitely went to like Army Ranger School. Which obviously, you know, he makes him quite intelligent. So it was stated in his file card that he was a warlord of a large urban street gang in Detroit, Michigan. Prior to enlisting in the army after the gang-related death of his two brothers, Stalker escaped the streets by enlisting. So now he ended up sort of becoming quite really important in the G.I. Joe media, because not only did Stalker convince Colonel Hawk to recruit his old war buddy Snake Eyes into the G.I. Joe team. So yeah, that's correct. Stalker convinced Colonel Hawk to enlist Snake Eyes. So we had to thank Stalker a hell of a lot for introducing Snake Eyes to us in the world. For if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have so many figures of Snake Eyes. So once again, I'm veering off course of Snake Eyes here, but these two are basically buddies here. So let's get back to Stalker. Now, Stalker's got a special place in my heart because the following year, when we had our first 3 action figures, my brothers and I, we actually able to have pocket money. And my older brother, he brought Stalker here. I brought, once again, Snake Eyes. And I believe my younger brother brought the first Cobra enemy trooper or the officer. So, you know, my younger brother was starting to become into the Cobras quite young, which is really, you know, you can't have G.I. Joe without Cobra, of course. Well, that's it. That's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. For anyone who's new here and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. It helps with the algorithm, makes this channel grow. And talk about growth, I have a membership part of this channel too, which does a lot more, like certain figures that I customize. I'm also doing some live streams, some private live streams with members in the future. And you sort of see things before other people get to see them, that's cool. And it doesn't cost much. About the cheapest I can get is about $2.99. That's New Zealand, so I don't know what that is in exchange rate. I'm not an accountant like Raptor, so yeah, that is what it is. Yeah, hit that notification bell up there. That'd be great. That's not really a bell. I do a lot of things like stickers and all that. You know, it is what it is. Now, my good buddy Stalker here will definitely go up with the collection right behind me with Snake Eyes beside his buddy. Just with timing, I'll put it over here. So, yep, that's it. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's a saying I say at work when it's like smoko's over or at the end of the day. And I'm going to say, that's us. You know, that's us. And it's, thank you very much, everybody. And it's Yo Joe, and it's us. See ya.